Hey guys, my name is Nora Franch, and welcome to the podcast Grateful Blessed Mess, daily reflections for those in the 12 steps. I am a fellow 12-stepper and certified mindset coach, and I am here to introduce you to the value of mindset coaching in your 12-step journey. So if you feel like you are stuck in the steps, if you're slipping and sliding with your abstinence, mindset coaching may help you as it did me, and you can find me at CatholicMindsetCoaching.com. These episodes are meant to invite you in to consider the truths of 12-step wisdom and to join in the very real struggle of living them in action. I hope that it feels almost like a mini meeting, and I invite you to contribute your own share on the Grateful Blessedness Facebook group to keep the discussion going. My comments are based on my own experience, so feel free to take what you like and leave the rest. But my hope is to encourage you on your own daily 12-step journey. As they say, you cannot stay clean on yesterday's shower. So without further ado, let's begin. Hey guys, today we have another reading from The Language of Letting Go on page 71, Removing the Victim. Don't others see how much I'm hurting? Can't they see I need help? Don't they care? The issue is not whether others see or care. The issue is whether we see and care about ourselves. Often, when we are pointing a finger at others, waiting for them to have compassion for us, it's because we have not fully accepted our pain. We have not yet reached that point of caring about ourselves. We are hoping for an awareness in another that we have not yet had. It is our job to have compassion for ourselves. When we do, we have taken the first step toward removing ourselves as victims. We are on the way to self-responsibility, self-care, and change. Today, I will not wait for others to see and care. I will take responsibility for being aware of my pain and problems and caring about myself. Okay. I cringed reading this. Ugh. Because I'm still in it. It's still a pain point for me, for others not to see how hard I'm working, or someone close to me, someone who is a close person in my life or who I live with, or a good friend. It's a pain point for me for someone to not express concern if I'm really struggling, and for me to have to feel like I have to bring it up to them, or else it'll never get communicated. So that is an area I definitely struggle with. It is our job to have compassion for ourselves. This part where we're pointing the finger at others, waiting for them to have compassion for us, it's because we have not fully accepted our pain. And I'm just turning this on myself now, and I'm not accepting the pain of not accepting the pain. Isn't that funny? This one really strikes a chord. It really hits home for me. We have not yet reached the point of caring about ourselves. I want my pain to be validated. Ooh. I want my pain to be validated because I think I have this deep-seated belief within me that if you don't agree with how hard this is for me, then that means I'm weak. And that means that I have less worth than you. And it means that I have lost some value. And so I need my pain to be validated by you, by someone external to me, or I am somehow less than. And there's a couple things about this. One, it puts my worth and value in the hands of someone else. It also leaves me open to be invalidated and to be told that I'm worthless, and I'm somehow implicitly agreeing with them about that. Even if that's not what they're intending, that's my interpretation of this want I have to be validated not being met. And it also puts in someone else's hands a power that is not theirs to behold, to have. It is not within the power of another human being to say whether or not someone else is valuable or whether or not their suffering is real. Because we cannot know another's subjective experience, and every single human person on this planet has the same dignity. And so that is not up for interpretation. That is not up to myself for my own interpretation. And it is most certainly not up for me to hand that over to someone else to tell me my value. And chances are, even if the person that I want to validate me did validate me, because I don't believe it anyway, I'm probably not going to believe them, at least not for very long. So I have this idea in my head, this thing that I'm hungering for. I want you to validate me. And this is a person who just can't. But I'm certain I have this idea that no, once you validate me, then I'll know that I'm good. Then I'll know that I'm worthy. Then I'll know that I'm seen. Then I'll know that I'm okay. And this is something I have to take to my higher power because I cannot break this belief on my own that I am enough, that I am okay without you telling me that I am. And I just have to go to my higher power every day and start and ask him. And I know that now I am on the journey of discovering, understanding, and believing in my worthiness. I am, and I'm come a long way, but I have a long way to go. And like I said, this is a really painful reading for me today because I'm not there and I want to be there and I'm not. And I keep unfairly leaning on another human being to make up for me what I cannot do for myself. And it's not their job to do that. And it starts this whole spiral of, resentment and bitterness. And so then I need to take that's a character defect of mine that is keeping me a victim, that is keeping me in my disease, and it's getting me stuck in my progression and recovery. And until I can take ownership of that, they mentioned self-responsibility. Um, you know, self-mastery is a term that when I stumbled across it, I was like, I want that. That sounds phenomenal and empowering and free. And really, that was a massive turning point in my recovery when I started down that road of like, what is self mastery and learning the ins and outs of that. And really, eventually, you could say it led to the birth of this podcast, even. And that's really my mission in life, I feel like, in what I'm doing with the podcast and how I work my program and how I coach people in recovery. I want them to have that freedom of self-mastery. And I may not be there, and I don't think any human can ever really be there. But I know the tools now, and I know how to use them, and I do use them. Not 100% of the time, but I do, and I'm growing, and I'm learning, and I get so excited that then I wanna give it away, right? And that's exactly what the program is too. So it's a beautiful thing. But let's read that final part again. Today, I will not wait for others to see and care. I will take responsibility for being aware of my pain and problems and caring about myself. And trusting, just like yesterday's episode was about trusting my own perception that this is painful, that this is hard for me, and that deserves to be honored. That deserves its own time and attention to say, yeah, I see you. I see that this is hard. And we can sit in that for a minute. We can sit in that. And then we're going to keep going because we want to keep moving toward recovery. But if I pretend that something's not hard, or I tell myself that it shouldn't be this hard, or I look at someone else and I'm like, "Hey, it's not hard for them," then I'm not able to move through that pain point because I'm rejecting it or denying it. And what happens is it doesn't go away. It just goes under the water. It goes under the surface so I can't see it, but it's still there and it's making waves. And then the problem is I don't know why I'm restless, irritable, and discontented anymore because I've sort of put it out from my immediate consciousness and it's just lurking somewhere underneath the water, waiting to be dealt with at another time. And so the gift of daily work in your program is that starts to happen less and less. Those things, we can't shove them under the bed or let them sink into the water as easily. They're just more in our attention, and we know that we're going to have to deal with it eventually. So we're like, nah, let's just do it today because I want to quit being, walloped by this. So a day at a time, every day, we get to find things that come up that are painful. That is a gift now. That is a gift for me to sit there and work through with my higher power so that one, hopefully eventually I stop needing to work through it. But the other part of that is that it gets me through that moment. And then there aren't so many waves. There aren't so many emotional waves in my life. So keep going. Keep at it. You're doing great. Keep coming back one day at a time. With that, I pass. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If you feel that mindset coaching could help you on your 12-step journey, please feel free to reach out and find me at catholicmindsetcoaching.com. But more than that, it's important to me to give listeners like yourself a place where you do not need to feel alone on your 12-step journey. And for that reason, I've created a Facebook group. It's called Grateful Blessed Mess. And it's a place where listeners can go to add their own commentary on the share for the day, in addition to my own, and for us just to have a conversation or start a back and forth where people can find support in their 12-step journey. This is not a replacement for 12-step work. This is something outside of the 12 steps. It is simply something that has a heart for the 12 steps and those who are in it. And so, welcome. If you are here, chances are you may also be a bit of a mess. And I hope that you can learn to find some gratitude in the blessings that have come from your messes.